Today on Sugar Spun Run, I'll be showing you how to make my favorite corn dip. Hey Sugar Spun Bakers, Sam here, and today I am so excited to be sharing another carefully tested, well-researched, and perfected recipe. This is a simple and flavorful dish that can be enjoyed hot or cold. I'll be serving mine warm today, and if you would like to do the same, you'll want to get your oven preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, one thing that gives this dip so much of its flavor is we are going to be adding bacon. We're going to start by cooking 6 strips of bacon. You could cook them flat if you'd like, but I'm going to be cooking mine in a 9-inch skillet because this is what I'm going to be baking the dip in. So just to make things a little bit easier, make it fit better, I've cut it into pieces. So we're just cooking this over medium heat, and while it's cooking, we can start preparing the other components for our dip. Grab yourself a mixing bowl, and we're going to add 8 ounces of softened cream cheese to the bowl. To help with the depth of flavor, we're going to be using one of my favorite ingredients, a 1/4 cup of sour cream. We'll also add a 1/4 teaspoon each of salt and ground black pepper. We're just going to stir these ingredients together until they're smooth and combined. You could absolutely use an electric mixer for this, but my cream cheese is nice and soft, so it's pretty easy to do with a spoon or a spatula. Don't forget to keep an eye on your bacon. All right, once this is all nicely mixed together, we can add our corn. We're using canned corn because of the time of year it is while I'm filming this, and you're going to want to use Mexican style corn. This has green and red peppers in with the corn. You're going to be using 2 11-ounce cans, and you want to make sure that you drain them before you add them to your cream cheese. Now, I've found that canned corn doesn't have that nice touch of sweetness that fresh summer corn does. And when we just use canned corn, the flavor can tend to fall a little bit flat because of that. In order to counteract that, we are going to add some granulated sugar, which might seem like an unusual ingredient, but you won't regret it when you taste the dip. We're just going to be adding 2 teaspoons of granulated sugar. You sprinkle that evenly over the corn. We're also going to be adding a cup of shredded cheese. You can use a cup of mozzarella or a cup of cheddar. I like to use 1/2 cup of each. Now, for a little punch of heat, we are going to finely dice 1 jalapeno pepper. And I don't want this to be too hot, so I'm going to be scraping out the seeds from this. I'm using my son's baby spoon because it works nicely, because all my other spoons are dirty too. Make sure I wash that really well before he uses it again. Normally I would not be this close to my bacon, but I'm doing it for the camera. I do dice this nice and small. I also have 2 scallions, which I'm going to thinly slice. And I'm going to add all of my jalapeno and just about half of the scallions into my mixing bowl as well. I'm going to save the other half for topping the dip when it's finished baking. We'll save those. And right about now, our bacon should be just about finished cooking. So we're going to remove this from the pan, and I'm just gonna place it on a paper towel lined plate. I'll actually turn off the heat. We don't need that anymore. And just for the record, I don't typically recommend preparing all of your other ingredients so close to your bacon, just in case it pops or it splatters, which is very likely. I'm just doing it for you guys on camera so you can see me doing everything at once. Okay, we're going to use this skillet. Remember, I cooked it in this 9-inch skillet for a reason, because I wanted to use it. But first, we're going to drain off that bacon grease, and I saved my corn can to do this. Be careful in case anything pops in there. You don't want to splatter yourself. Now, I'm just going to use some paper towels to lightly wipe out this pan. You don't have to be super thorough. A little bit of lingering bacon grease is not a bad thing. Now let's add this bacon in with our other ingredients for the dip. I do like to reserve about 1/4 of it for sprinkling on top the dip when it's finished. Now my bacon pieces are nice and small. If yours aren't quite so small, just make sure to crumble them before adding them to the dip. Now mix everything together. Smells good. And now once everything's combined, we're going to add this into our pan. And if you're not baking yours in the skillet you cooked your bacon in, just go ahead and pour it into a 9-inch pie plate. That works just as well. Now I'm just going to cover this lightly with a little bit of foil. Then we'll take this over to our preheated oven and we're going to bake it for about 15 to 20 minutes or until it is heated all the way through and the dip is nice and melty. Right, we'll remove that foil. And I always like to mix this up, make sure it's heated through. It should be nice, creamy, melty. You can see the stretch in that mozzarella cheese. Always mix it before you serve it. Oh, that looks so good. I can't wait to eat this. Also, before we serve it, we're going to top it with that last bit of scallions that we reserved and with that bacon, just for an extra punch of texture and flavor. All right, now you just need some chips and maybe a couple of friends. Maybe it's just you, I don't judge. We're going to go ahead and dig in. I'm not sharing this. Oh yeah, this is going to be super hot, so I'm gonna let it wait just a second. But that's how easy it is to make this super flavorful corn dip that is sure to be a showstopper wherever you take it. Everybody is going to be asking for the recipe. If you guys try this one, please leave me a comment and let me know what you think. I always love hearing from you. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. That's so good. I'm not sharing this.